Time to spit some seeds. What do you think, TB? I'm with the kid, Troy Banks, Donovan D. Money Scott, of course. And today I have a special guest. I have Austin Temple. Austin is a member of the Firefighters in the Savannah Banana.
Austin Temple, Palm City, Florida. Two things I love, Bananaball and fishing. Let's go.
Bananaball. So I'm the Firefighters and Bananaball. Troy and I were both fortunate enough to meet this cat a couple of weeks ago when they were in town, and I had a conversation. Found you really interesting, man. Thought you'd be a great interview. I want to talk about a little bit of your time at Notre Dame and getting drafted, up with the Astros. And then, as far as what's going on now with the Firefighters. So welcome to Moneyball, man.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Absolutely.
Should be good.
Our pleasure, for sure, man. So Troy, why don't you get them started here?
So, man, how's it going? How you doing?
Well, going
Good,
awesome.
good. So I looked at your stats. Started off at Jacksonville, 4 years, then you transferred to Notre Dame. And your Notre Dame stats, you had 87 punchies to 30, how many walks?
Maybe 35, maybe 40.
Yeah. So my question to you, man, is what inspired the transfer and what went well when it happened?
So my senior year at Jacksonville in the fall, I broke my foot lifting. And then in the spring, I ended up messing up my arm due to what the doctors called overload. So that kind of screwed that whole season up. So I kind of, I was graduating, got my degree from Jacksonville, kind of wanted a different change of pace, So I figured might as well hop in the portal. I think that was the first year you could, or maybe it was the second year, you could jump in the portal and not have to sit out a year. So I hopped in there, and then my assistant coach from Jacksonville, my sophomore year, he called me and got me to Notre Dame. Went to a super regional the year before, lost to Mississippi State. And then he was like, look, we got a lot of guys returning. We think you'll be a starter for us. And I was like, dude, this is awesome. Go to a bigger school, bigger opportunities, stuff like that, get seen a little bit more. So it was kind of a no-brainer for me. Talking to a few other schools, but, I had that connection with him already. So I knew him. I knew he wasn't going to, tell me something and then do something completely different. So that's how I got.
Last thing you want to do is have somebody say, hey, we're going to get you here and you're going to start, right? And then for the next, 6 months, you're sitting there sitting on the pine and not touching the ball, right?
Yeah, not doing anything. So,
yeah.
So to that, what they said.
Yeah, absolutely.
Great. That's great.
They needed some filth, man. They needed some filth. So they called my man Austin here. Give us an idea of when you were at Notre Dame, not now, but when you were there, what the arsenal was.
So fastball was 90, 93, up to 4, just 4 seams and throw 2. And then my best pitch was my curveball, 12.6, pretty big. It's 78, 80 mile an hour-ish, somewhere in there. I actually threw one, gosh, who was that again? I think it was against Louisville. I threw one that was 83. And I was like, dang, that's the hardest curveball I've ever thrown.
It's not even supposed to be that fast.
Yeah, not that hard. And then my slider at the time, I called it a slider. It was really a cutter, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if you guys know about vertical break, horizontal break, but it was basically in the middle, like a gyro slider.
I was going to say gyro ball.
Yeah, I would throw that between 86, 89. Struggle with the changeup my whole life.
That's where I was gonna ask you. I was gonna say, when you're, especially at the collegiate level, when you're throwing 93, 94, which is just, lightning in a bottle at any level, but the changeup. Now, when you say you struggled with the changeup, what do you think from a fastball being 94, right? In your opinion, as a pro pitcher, where do you think the changeup should come in at? And when do you think it should be thrown?
I would say it depends on, first off, comfortability with it. For me, I had no control with it.
Okay.
So I would throw it, if I got 0-2 and I would had a pitch to waist or maybe even just trying to just flip it in there. It depends. Some guys really have control with it, and it's their pitch and they'll throw it any count. So I think it just kind of depends on the guy.
Okay.
But
and that's
again.
My son's 10, and he's really trying to get into pitching and everything else. And once in a while he gets a little weird and he wants to throw a curveball. And I say, dude, that's the last thing you should be trying to throw. TB, you got a guest in the background. We got a special. What's going on there? What? The black cat running around there, man. Is that bad luck that we just got, or what?
That's good.
Okay, that's all right. He's always welcome to the show, man. That's going to be fantastic footage. I love it, man. I think, and this is totally kind of flipping the script of what we were talking about, and I'm not going to go too much into this because whenever I do, I start going on a tangent. But with kids seeing like their favorite pitchers and they go into like what they can throw and everything else, kids are so hell bent now on trying to throw all these different pitches. And in my opinion, a 10-year-old shouldn't even be throwing a curveball. It's just going to ruin their arm. My favorite pitch is a curveball, right?
Yeah.
So as much as I want to see it, I want to see it getting thrown at the right age from the right person to see what it does on it. I mean, you got any opinion on that at all?
Yeah. So I'll start with the curveball. I started throwing it when I was, I believe, 10. So
Okay.
right around that age, just like straight over the top, like not any like wrist movement, anything like that. I just hold it and just try to get to the front of the ball.
Okay.
Kind of like the curve, I guess they call it. And then, I think as long as the kid's not going out there and out of 50 pitches, he's throwing 30 curveballs, I think it will be okay. If you want to mix in, 5 curveballs and 50 pitches, that I would think is just fine. It also kind of depends. Like some guys mature very early.
Right.
Like, I was playing kids at 14 that had a mustache, and I'm like, okay, you're either
That's a
not
great
14
point.
or you are just really early to mature.
Yeah, you're right on the money with that. Like we were playing a travel and this kid, man, like this kid was like 6'1". I mean, like this kid walks up and we're just like, what is going on? He did get a hold of one of our little pitcher's balls and crushed the thing. It was USSA back, right? So he uncorked this thing into the next field, almost killed a parent that was watching another game. And like all the kids were like,
Yeah.
But I don't know what's in the water at some places, dude, or what goes on. But anyways, I had to interrupt you there because this kid popped in my head, and I was gonna say something to him after the game, but I was afraid he was gonna kick my butt. So I didn't want to go there, bro.
Yeah.
That kind of goes into my next question. When did you become that high level baseball player? When did you start to say, okay, this is what we're doing?
Gosh, probably when I was like 12-ish, I would
Wow.
say. I was like, I was on a pretty high level travel team growing up throughout all my years.
And now, where are you from again?
I'm from Palm City, Florida. South Florida.
Okay.
Yeah. So we're pretty competitive down there.
Heck yeah.
I'm sure you guys know about that.
Yeah.
So, I've pitched since, gosh, I was 8, 9 maybe. So I've always loved that. And then I played the field. I was actually a really good hitter until I messed up my arm hitting my freshman year of high school, I think. Freshman or sophomore year of high school.
Yeah.
But I don't know, man. I thought I was kind of always at the top area of my teams. I mean, to put in perspective, 10 to 12U team, we had, I believe, 9 guys go D1.
Wow.
So
that's
insane.
That's insane.
Yeah, we're very good.
All right. Can I sign Deacon up? Can I sign Deacon for that school if I move down to Florida? Now, are they still rocking and rolling down there? Is it still like, do you kind of pay attention to it? Is it like that every year still, or is it,
I'm not 100% sure. I really haven't kept up with it. How I've had a lot going on, school, baseball, and pro ball.
Yeah.
So.
It would be interesting though, wouldn't it? Like to look back and see like how many guys went there, and even like, holy cow, man, this guy's playing for the Brewers, right? Or this guy's playing for. Yeah, that'd be cool. Man.
I think from my team, I think I'm the only one still playing.
Yeah.
But
what was the name of that travel team?
It was the Jupiter Hammerheads.
Jupiter Hammerheads. All right, I'm going to check it out because now you got me excited about. Give me another reason to move down to Florida, bro. It's all I need,
We were good, man. We played in so there's the Little League World Series, and then there's a thing called the Cal Ripken World Series.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which is, I think, a little bit more like legit baseball, 50-70, and you could like take leads, all that stuff. So we went to the World Series for that in Aberdeen.
Yeah.
We the cool thing, actually, my pitching coach at the time, I believe he played for the Rockies and then a couple other teams in the MLB. He actually went overseas and played in Japan and set like a bunch of records.
Okay.
Team Japan was at the World Series and they knew him. So we got to practice with them. They taught us like base running and fielding.
Oh, that is cool, man.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, that's one of those things. Plus, you're seeing it from like a different culture perspective, right?
Absolutely, yeah. And
that's
their
pretty rad.
brain is, I believe they start with like 500 kids. and they bring him into this training camp for like 2 months.
Yeah.
Then they take top like 12 or 15. I don't know however many kids have down there, but
How ridiculous, or maybe it's not in your opinion, the pitch count now. You know, Nolan Ryan used to throw 160, 170 pitches in a game. I get it. There's a lot of arm injuries, whatever. But I always use Nolan Ryan as the example because this was back when modern medicine was not what it was. I mean, that guy was kind of an alien, you know, but at the same time, dude, he's still on record throwing the fastest ball ever. So it's not about arm strength. What's your take on that, man?
I think that the player is the only one who truly knows if he could keep going based
Okay.
on
It's a good answer.
like how tired he is. I don't know how he slept the night before, what he ate, all that stuff.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
Let's dive into Bananaball, man.
Let's do it.
First of all, first half of your career, I would say. I mean, it's very impressive to hear all the stuff that you've done. Really, it seems like Notre Dame kind of changed everything. You know, you got drafted out of there, went to the Astros, and maybe that's the reason that you are now on the Firefighters. So maybe that is the year that changed everything.
Yeah.
How has Bananaball been? Because obviously Donovan said it's crazy. You know it's crazy, as do I. Is that you stepping out of your comfort zone, or do you feel at home?
Good question.
So I'm going to backtrack a little bit. So I actually played for the Bananas in summer ball, 2018, 2019. So I was like my younger self, I would have never done this. Like podcasts, like I was not good at talking to people. Like,
Oh, okay.
I was kind of introvert, like just wasn't for me. And then my coach said, all right, you're going to the Savannah Bananas. I'm like, oh gosh, like I got to go do dances and all that stuff. My first week there, I'll never forget. My mom actually sent me this video the other day. I had to dance with this elderly woman on the field in front of like 4,000 fans. And I was like, oh gosh, what am I doing?
Oh my
But
God.
it really was like for the better. And it really brought me out of my shell. Now, like, I don't even know how to put it into words. Like this place is just amazing.
I kind of know what you're saying. So was it more anxiety, right? Like just you didn't want to step out of that comfort level with anxiety. And I love that you're man enough to admit that and even say that, man, because a pitcher is certainly a hot, you're in the spotlight position. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but on the field it's different.
Just turn it off.
Yeah. And this past weekend we played in front of 42,000 in the national stadium.
Yeah.
And I just have tunnel vision. Like I don't hear anything. I don't see anything that's going on. Like it's just me and the catcher. So like, I don't know. That's different. But
Well, the fact you're able to do that is something in its own right, man. You know what I mean? A lot of people can't block that out, and you've gotten in your own head and you said, okay, I'm gonna master. You know what I mean? I'm gonna be in control of myself. So kudos on that because that's tough to do.
and that's always been one of my strengths is like the mental side of pitching. Just because personally I think pitching is like 85% mental.
Yeah.
Because if you're a hothead up there and you're like, oh man, I threw a ball, and then you're like, oh, I threw another ball, just downhill from there.
I do want to just backtrack 1 second with Notre Dame because I want to kind of piggyback with Troy here. Is that did seem to change everything, right? Like, I mean, call it karma, call it manifestation, call it an act of whatever it is. That's where things changed, and that's where you were drafted, correct? After
Yeah,
that
I mean,
season.
agent, but yeah.
Okay. Well, tell me a little bit about that, how that worked then.
So I got called. Well, my agent got called. I believe we were in round like 18 out of 20.
Oh, this is after they went to 20, yeah, because it was 40, right?
Yeah. It was like round 18, and my agent calls me. He's like, look, they have X amount of dollars for you, or you can sign free agent and you'll get, I got 25 times more of the money.
Wow.
I just signed free agent.
Yeah, I'll take option B, please.
Yeah, I'll do that one. And yeah, it was kind of a no-brainer for me.
And then you went to single A ball from there?
Yeah, so I threw, what was it? Threw 10 innings in the FCL, which is the Florida Complex League. Absolutely shoved. I think I gave up like 3 hits, 10 plus strikeouts, no walks. Then a few of us went up to low A. I threw, I think like 3 or 4 innings, gave up 2 home runs. I was like, oh, welcome to pro ball. Like, here it is.
Polar opposite of what you just did.
Yeah. And then the season ended. So next year went to spring training. Spring training was fine. And then I was working on some mechanical stuff. So I stayed in spring training they call it extended spring training.
Okay.
And then I think about a week and a half or 2 weeks into that, I got called back up to low A, and then I was there for the rest of the year.
I tell anyone, man, who really wants to, who's a true fan of the game, to go down to spring training. Like, really, it's such a unique, cool experience. You kind of catch, pros when you're not surrounded by all the media. It's different. It's just so different.
Mhm.
You know what I mean, and if you're watching, obviously, the best baseball you can watch, if not better, because you got these guys fighting to get on the team. It's a cheaper ticket, unless you're, of course, at Steinbrenner in Tampa. Forget about it, right? Other than that, it's a cheaper ticket and you get to go, and we always meet a bunch of guys, this and that. And it's really cool. That's, met Jackson Holiday actually, down there, and he's got a Moneyball hat now. And, he was real cool. Next time I saw him, he actually remembered me in the boy, and he said, I got your hat in my truck. You know what I mean? So just kind of a different experience where you kind of get to know these guys a little bit. I mean, there's no way that's happening if it's in Camden Yards,
Yeah, no. Yeah, I think it's a little more like on a personal level, I guess.
Intimate.
Yeah.
It's like Troy and his cat. It's like Troy and his cat on a Friday night with the candles burning and the TV dinner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And especially like if you're
Troy's just like, yep.
if you, I don't know, are following some minor league guys that aren't playing in the big league game, we play on the backfields. So like you're right there. Like you can be right on the fence watching. So
Yeah.
at least that's in the Astros, that's how it was. So
Yeah, no, it is. It's like that at a few of them. And it's a real quick funny story, man, that I'll share. I think it's in Bradenton, Florida. The Pirates, they have a really, really cool park. Have you been over there in Florida?
I have not.
It's kind of built off of the old Ebbets Field. It's just kind of an old school with the kind of like PNC where they have the old school lights in that. And it's a really small park. I mean, it's a really small park. Well, I had gotten there late, and I was walking in, and a couple of the players had gotten there late. They're all cleated up and everything. Nobody walking through the same entrance I was, man. They're both late, and they're talking in Spanish. It was Rodolfo Castro, actually, and somebody else. They're talking in Spanish, and they're walking by, and they're kind of like sprinting to get onto the field. It's like, what's up, guys? And that right there is a perfect example of how intimate it is, right? Like walking onto the field, man, the same as when these guys are. So I thought that, it always is a great experience. It really is.
Yeah, that's awesome.
What else can we talk about, Troy? You got anything else? You got any other questions here for Austin?
Yeah, I was gonna go with back to Bananaball.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so Austin, with all the mayhem, for lack of a better word, going on with Bananaball, are they expecting you to just guard hitters, or are they expecting you to get a dancing, or what is kind of your gig?
So with the Firefighters, we don't dance as much as the Bananas or the Party Animals. I think this year we're kind of just getting accustomed to Bananaball, because playing it is way different than normal baseball. You don't have as much time in between pitches. Hitters got to, get to the box. Pitchers, there's not really any balks. Like, when was it? I believe it was in Buffalo, actually. I did like a stop pitch where I lifted my leg, like fake threw it, and then like threw it for real. So like
you can do that, right?
Yeah. So there's like just a bunch of different things that we got to learn. And then for like fielders, like trick plays and learning when to do to the trick plays, when not to do the trick plays, all that stuff. And then as a pitcher, especially for like the visiting, so every inning counts for a point. So if your team doesn't score in the top half, you can go out there. This happened to me in Vegas, actually. My first inning of the start, we didn't score. I went out there, first batter, home run. We lost the inning. Like, it's just, I don't know. You got to get used to it. It's different, but it's.
You guys then, do you immediately go to the next inning then?
Yep. My take, if I really don't think I would go back to pro ball.
Okay. So kind of once you get into that world of Bananaball and a taste of it and stuff, it's just, is it because it's so different? Is that why?
I mean, I'm having the time of my life. Like,
awesome.
This is the most fun I've had playing ball. And I don't know, man, just like the people here, just everything. It's just,
that's that puts us ear to ear, man. Just hearing you say that, that truly makes me happy, right? Because it's and I'll say this, and I could be wrong, right? And I don't want to speak out of line, but like, I think playing ball and being really good at it, a lot of the times it becomes almost a chore or a job, right? When you're that good and you play from 12 or 13 all the way up. And Troy, you know this, where it's like, I got to go play baseball again, right? And you have certain expectations, right? And now, man, it just seems like you're just letting loose and ripping it and just really, truly, like you said, truly enjoying it. And I'm really happy for you that you get to experience that.
Thank you, man. Yeah. I mean, I've been playing since I was 4. So
Yeah,
I'm 24 now, 20 years of it.
that's what I'm
And
saying.
like I said, this is the most fun I've had.
Very
It's
cool.
awesome. Yeah.
Well, this was a lot of fun too. This was great. Very much appreciate you taking the time with us. We'll certainly keep in touch and wish you nothing but the best, obviously moving forward with everything with the career, man.
Yeah, man. Thank you guys for having me. I appreciate it.
Really appreciate it.
Absolutely. All right, take care. We'll talk soon.
Alrighty. Sounds good, man. Peace out.
Peace out.